And I think a lot of our relationship and why people have such an issue with it, and why people write all this hate and death threats to us and all this stuff for being together, because one, they don't want to see a black man in the royal family because there's never been.
What is it with some commoners who work their lifetime extremely hard to climb the social ladder, but always have to make their cases complicated by creating a web of lies which always exposes them? We are not yet done with solving the Meghan Markle web of lies around the British royal family. And now we have this man, Durek Verrett, who is nothing but a walking web of lies. Hello and welcome again to the International Business Entrepreneurs or Grifters podcast. Geopolitical Queen here with today's episode on the troubling past of the Princess of Norway's HIV positive groom, who was engaged to a man who helped him raise $20,000 for a kidney transplant years before. 49-year-old Durek Verrett, who later became Shaman Durek, is the newfound love of Martha Louise, the Princess of Norway, a hybrid of space lizard, according to himself in 2021. He will crown a remarkable rise to the top of the ladder, going from being arrested for failing to pay his bus fare to now being part of one of Europe's most eminent royal families. In his own book, he said he was 27 years old. A new interview with Hello magazine ahead of his wedding puts him at 28. In a video on his Facebook page, he says he was 29, while another interview suggested he was 30 years old. But the fact is, he is 49 years old. By Durek's own account, in a 2020 interview with Vanity Fair, he grew up in extreme wealth with domestic servants and private planes thanks to his successful architect father. The trouble is, his own mother has refuted his version of a privileged upbringing, and there are plenty of other questions raised about an undoubtedly colorful past which saw him spend a year in jail, as well as being arrested several times. His auntie, Shirley Verrett, has also confirmed that Durek's father was indeed a contractor who went bankrupt twice. In 2002, Durek, who has previously spoken about being HIV positive, sensationally claimed that he died of renal failure and came back to life, which cemented his path to being a shaman. A decade later, the spiritual healer, who flips between describing himself as a third and sixth generation shaman, raised more than $20,000 for kidney transplant surgery, which his sister was his donor. The fundraising was supported by his fiancé, Monsieur Hank Greenberg, who he was in a relationship with for 8 years from 2007. Together, they ran wellness sessions called Heaven and Earth in Los Angeles. Hank would later describe his former fiancé Durek as not a good man. The incidents have gone largely under the radar after being overshadowed by more recent controversies, including his suggestion that childhood cancer is caused by unhappiness. Durek claimed his mama, who was a powerful medicine woman from Ghana, started visiting him in his dreams when he was 5 years old. This great-grandmother, Mamal, allegedly fled from Ghana to Haiti when the slave traders infiltrated the African tribes. It was in Haiti where she studied Hoodoo and became a spiritualist before ending up in New Orleans. Records, however, show that Mamal, whose real name was Eugenie Morel, was in fact his great-grandmother, who was born and died in New Orleans, calling into question how she arrived there from Ghana via Haiti. Like a Meghan Markle using all sorts of excuses and creating stories to stop her father from attending her royal wedding back then, Durek and Martha Louise sent 81-year-old Verushka, who is Durek's mother, a cease and desist letter and publicly stated that she wouldn't be invited to the wedding. Ever so litigious, they threatened Hank with legal action in 2022 if he continued speaking about his relationship with Durek publicly, as well as another cease and desist letter to Durek's former manager, Tiana Grego, who worked for him for 6 years. In 2018, Durek claimed that he worked at Shamir Medical Center in Israel in 1998. The following year, the hospital's HR responded that they had no record of Durek's employment at the center. In October 2021, Durek raised eyebrows in Norway when he claimed in a now deleted Instagram post that he is a hybrid of space lizard. He captioned the post, "I am a hybrid of a space lizard and Andromeda," that is the princess from Greek mythology. "And I also have ancient spirits from the ancient world." In June 2022, the newly engaged couple appeared in a video together on Durek's Instagram account where the race card was pulled out. Take a listen.
And I think a lot of our relationship and why people have such an issue with it and why people write all this hate and death threats to us and all this stuff for being together, because one, they don't want to see a black man in the royal family because there's never been one in the history of histories in the European royal family. So that's a huge thing. Second, she's a female. It's different when a royal prince chooses a woman of color, because it's like, oh, he's a man. Of course, he can choose whoever he wants. But for a princess to choose a man of color has never been done in history. And so people, it's really tough for a lot of people to be able to handle that.
As at 2023, Durek was still struggling with severe kidney disease, thus his wedding to Martha Louise being put on hold. But in 2024, the date was finally fixed. A narcissist and attention seeker like a Meghan Markle, the couple decided to monetize the wedding event through Netflix and Hello Magazine deals. The royal family therefore avoided being filmed or photographed at the wedding, as monarchy is not for sale. Martha Louise, the European royal from Norway, finally married his controversial, positive hybrid of space lizard Durek in Geiranger Fjord in western Norway on 31st August 2024. So what do you think? Should these hustling social climbers always wrap themselves up in lies and pull out the race cards when called out, or they should rather stay their authentic selves by accepting who they are and where they are coming from? Well, kindly leave your comments in the comment section below, and thanks for tuning in. I will be back with the next broadcast. Good day.
And one kiss, please. Yes, very good. And one more time the rings. Then we're done. Very good. Thank you very much.
I will love her until my dying days. What kan du si om det?
Do you have a plan for
Yes, yeah. Thank you. Okay, Brad, can you guys back off?
Cheers. Michelle Robin. Jag såg och bryter raka.
Feil, så er det faktisk litt dårlig publikum som blir
Bryter raka.
Som har stilt opp. Det er litt å kysse faktisk for å virkelig sette prikken over i-en når den er ute.